Everyone, and welcome back to the Velocity channel, where this is your bridge to financial freedom. Today we're going to go ahead and take out a $150,000 loan, and by take out I mean we're going to eliminate it very quickly. Now, I know what a lot of you are saying. You're probably saying things like, it's a mortgage, or it's a student loan debt. No. This is any loan, okay? We want to make sure that you are paying them off as fast as possible. Does that make sense? So before we hop into that, let's go ahead and like, share, and subscribe so that everyone around the world can know the power of Velocity Banking. Now look, we have the $150,000 loan, okay? Right now, regardless of if this is your car, right? Student loan, like we say, it doesn't matter what loan it is. You understand? We're going to eliminate it. So $150,000 at, let's just say 10%. At 10%. Now, what is that going to be? We know it's amortized, right? That means it's got that mort in the word, which means there's going to be death somewhere. Okay, it's going to be death to your pocketbook. All right, we're going to show you how to get out over that. $1,316 each and every month. That's what this equates to, okay? Now, if you look at any loan you have, remember, any minimum monthly payment is not going towards the principal. It's getting split up. Why? Well, anything with interest means the bank is going to take some each and every month of this minimum monthly payment. Now, in this particular case, they're going to be taking, if you pay them the regular way, the way they want you to pay them, you're going to be paying $1,250 to them, while $66 is going towards this principal. Now, I don't know about you, but that looks criminal to me, all right? We want to go ahead and get out of this. Now, that's just the first month, okay? Let's go ahead and see what happens when we keep going in this manner on the 12th month. Does it get any better? Well, listen, the good news is, yes, it does get better. $1,243 to the bank. Now, remember, this is 11 months gone by. And then $73 towards the principal. Now, to be fair, it did get better. Can I ask you, how better did it get? Let's stop right here, because this is a teachable moment. It got $7 better, okay? Meaning this $7 that was on the interest side has now transferred towards your principal side. So you are getting more. In those 11 months that pass by, you are paying $7 more towards the principal. Let's see what happens on the 24th month. Okay, 24th month, we have $1,236 going towards interest, and then $80 going towards the principal. Now, do you see at the end of this 12 months how that the $7 again has shifted from the interest side to the principal side? We've got one more. It's going to be the 36th month. That's at 3 years. We are acquiescing that it is getting better, okay? So for those who love the traditional banking method, I got to give it to you. It does get better, but just a little bit, all right? And I don't know if you're okay with that, but I know that there is a better way to pay all of our loans. So when you're looking at this, just look at how much the bank is getting paid versus how much is going towards the principal. Okay, $1,250 of this $1,316 is going to the bank. That means you will never ever see that money. And $66, well, you're going to see that go towards your principal. Is that something that you can live with? Is that something that is okay with you doing it the traditional banking way? Are you okay with that? Because if you're okay with that, so am I. But I have to show you how much interest you're going to be paying if you continue on with this method of paying. Now remember, this doesn't just go for your mortgage, doesn't just go for your car loans, doesn't go for any, it goes for every one of them, okay, that have this interest rate on them, all right? You're going to be paying to the bank, and your payment will be split up. So yes, you'll pay to the bank, but that payment that you're paying will only go towards that principal, but you got to share it with the bank, okay? So let's do this. Let's share with you how much in interest you can expect to pay, total interest, if you're going to do the minimum. Man, you know what? This sounds like a life lesson, doesn't it? If you only do the minimum throughout life, you'll actually be paying more than if you did more when you had the time. Watch this. Total interest, $323,000, $888. Now, that's the total interest that you can expect to pay if you're doing it the bank's way. All right? This is the total interest you'll expect to pay if you're doing it the bank's way. All right? Now, there is a better way. All right? I don't want you to spend $323,888, right, man? You could have sent your child to college. You could have bought them a couple of cars, a couple of Ferraris, a couple of Corvettes, with this money, right? You could have put a down payment on a home. You could have bought a home, another home, with this money, all right? I don't want you to do that. And plus all the years that have been wasted in paying someone else this gargantuan amount of money. It gets better, but only a little bit. And at the end of 30, at the end of 40 years, that's what you can't get back, the years. But there is a better way. So let me share with you. If you just put $1,000, watch what I do with this $1,000, guys. Okay? Now, you can't say that that's a lot of money, right? Because you looked at this. That, ladies and gentlemen, is a lot of money. Not this, okay? That's one thing we need to make sure that we have in mind. Because once you have a different mindset towards money, you're going to see that when you're allocating it the correct way, those loans get eliminated much faster. And that's where we want to go, all right? So instead of doing that, let's deploy the $1,000 towards that first month so that that first month looks like this. Yes, $1,250 is going to the bank. But instead of just the $66 going towards the principal, we are taking initiative. And yes, you do. You have that $1,000. Because I can already tell you have that $1,000. Those that have the Money Max account, man, the system is finding money within your account. Now, of course, it doesn't have access to your account, but it sees what you've written down and says, wait a minute, we've got money here. We've got money on this day, Tuesday. We've got enough money on Wednesday. Let's go ahead and deploy that, all right? And that's for those that have our Money Max account. But look at this, $1,250. $1,066 instead of just the 66 going towards the principal. Do you know what that's going to do? That's going to dramatically reduce the amount that we are paying towards the bank. And it's going to dramatically increase the amount we are putting towards the principal. You guys, this is not magic. I don't have anything up my sleeves. I want you to look at this, all right? This is how it's going to go. At the end of the 12th month, we have this. $1,148 going towards the bank. Now, when I was in school, we were taught that $1,148 is less than $1,243. Do you see that? Do you see what happens? And also, by the way, look at what happens, the dramatic increase that happens at the 12th month versus the increase that happens in the 12th month when you're doing it the traditional banking way. All right? I want you to look at that because that's a significant difference. That's what, $102 difference. Okay? It shifted from the interest side over to the principal side. But what happens at the 24th month? Let's go ahead and just write the 36th month there as well. At the 24th month, we have $1,025 going towards the bank, $1,291 going towards the principal. Now, let's stop there. Do you see what I see? Do you see the dramatic decrease in interest in the amount that's going towards the bank? Okay, but this is nothing. Let's go to the 36th month and let's just give you a vision of what you can have when you know that your money is going to the right place. I know that you may be thinking, well, CJ, I don't want to deploy the $1,000. I know why you don't want to deploy the $1,000. Because you're thinking that you don't have it. You're thinking that, man, it could go to something else. And you know what? You're right. Where is it going right now? Is it going to a place where you can increase in cash flow? You see, because the end game of eliminating debt should be to increase in cash flow. This is what you're getting. This amount belongs to you. This amount does not belong to the bank. This amount belongs to you. This amount belongs to the kingdom. Kingdom finances is going into Keilah, going into Ziklag, and taking back what's yours. Keilah and Ziklag, they symbolize things that they have taken from you, whatever that is. And they have taken from you enough. And so what I suggest is that instead of looking at this number and thinking that you don't have it, perhaps sit down with one of our advisors and see what you can do to capture this cash flow. Because, folks, instead of spending 30 years and over $323,888 in total interest towards someone else's dream, I want you to get out of this debt. In 7 years and 10 months. Seven is the new 30. Someone hashtag that. 7 is the new 30. We don't want 30-year mortgages. We protest 30-year mortgages, not by picket signs, but by velocity banking, right? That's what we want. We no longer want ourselves enslaved, our community enslaved, our children enslaved. We want to be free. Oh, let me share with you the total interest. If you were to use the velocity banking method, because I know a lot of you are like, man, but that's $1,000, CJ. It's $1,000 extra each month. Watch this. This is how much you're actually paying in total interest. That's total interest. Total interest, $66,528. Now, is the $1,000 a month worth this savings? Look at that. I want you to look at this now. Calculate the savings up yourself. That's over $200,000 right here in savings. Way over. Way over. All right? I want you to get a vision of what life could look like with knowing what your finances were doing. And that's what every one of our Money Max account holders have. Assurance that not only did they know they had an extra $300, an extra $500, an extra $1,000, $2,000, but now they know where they're going. Instead of the bank giving you a plan, their plan of 30 years, of 40 years, 50 years, that one man said, I've got a 50-year plan, CJ. I want to stay on it. No judgment. No judgment. I want you out. I want you out at 7 years and 10 months. I want you eliminating $150,000 with $1,000. I know you can do it. And you already see the numbers. It's possible. And I want you to do this. I want you to make sure that you schedule a call, right? That you go to the webinar first, actually. I want you to go to the webinar because we don't share the Money Max account with everybody. We want serious people that want to get rid of their mortgages. They want to get rid of their student loans and everything. They want this in real life for themselves and their families. And so, folks, I wanted to share that with you. This is how you can get out. This is how $1,000 each month is not really a whole lot at all, especially when you're talking about the end game. All right, folks, God bless you. What video should I do next? What problem should I solve next? I want to hear from you. God bless you and have a great night.